We're glad to know you're still there, and this is the Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. It's time to go to our first hot topic, which is on petrol. The prices in Nigeria may soon rise to 1,000 naira per litre as global crude oil prices edge past $78 per barrel, following escalating tensions between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. The conflict, triggered by coordinated strikes on Iran's nuclear sites, has rattled the oil market, with Iran threatening to close the Strait of Hormuz, a vital route for nearly all global shipments. Local petroleum marketers say the soaring crude prices and forex volatility are driving up domestic fuel costs. Dangote Refinery, now a major supplier, recently raised prices from 825 naira to 880 naira per litre, prompting filling stations to adjust pump prices to as high as 960 naira in some regions and nearly 1,000 naira in parts of the north due to logistics. Industry experts warn that if Brent crude crosses the $80 mark, depot loading prices will increase sharply. With no price buffer from Dangote, whose sources crude at international rates, analysts say Nigerians should brace for steeper fuel costs unless geopolitical tensions ease or the naira strengthens significantly. Our guest this morning is Nick Agule, an energy expert. Good morning and welcome to the program, Mr. Agule.
Good morning, Nyangul. Good morning, Rume.
Good morning to
all our viewers globally.
Good morning.
Maybe the scare that we have is no longer going to be there, because we're seeing stories on the social media that Iran and Israel both have called for a ceasefire, which means the 12-day tension may be seeing an end right now, but it may still pose a great danger. I'd like you to walk us through the implication of this continuing, because we do not know, something else could trigger it, even if they're talked about a ceasefire right now. So let's just first of all get the implications of this problem in the Middle East that we're having, how it's going to impact especially Nigeria.
Thank you very much for that question. The situation in the Middle East, like you have already pointed out in your introduction, is capable of causing disruptions in crude oil supplies, and consequently that has an impact on the prices of crude oil in the global market. And if the prices of crude oil is impacted in the global market, it affects us in Nigeria in two ways. Firstly, it affects our budget, because up till now we are still a mono economy, depending largely on sales of crude oil to fund our budget. So if crude oil prices are going up, we are happy budget wise. If crude oil prices are going down, we are unhappy budget wise. But if we flip the coin, we are also buying petroleum products which are made from crude oil. So if crude oil prices go up, the cost of petroleum products will tend to go up. And then if crude oil prices come down, the cost of petroleum products tend to come down. So we are in a situation where whether crude oil prices go up or go down, we are crying. Because if they go up, we are happy with budget, but we are not happy at the pump. If they come down, we are not happy with the budget, but we are happy at the pump. So these are the kind of things that should even make Nigerian leaders begin to remove us from this situation, whereby we should be happy when crude oil is going up, regardless. That is the situation in terms of the impact. But just to bring it to the current conversation, crude oil prices started to crash yesterday, even before the announcement of the truce between Iran and Israel. And the reason is that the markets looked at the situation and felt that Iran possibly did not have the firepower to respond to the bombardment from Israel and the United States. So marketers have already factored that in, because the threat that they thought, if a nuclear nation is attacked, was there, seemed not to be there. So as of yesterday, I was monitoring crude oil prices. Crude oil prices started to come down from the highs. So yesterday, when the market opened, yesterday was Monday, and these strikes happened over the weekend. So immediately the market opened on Monday, crude oil price shot to about $79, turning towards $80. And as the day progressed, traders realized that Iran didn't pose the kind of threat that was earlier envisaged. So they marked that in, and crude oil prices now came down from the highs of 79 down to $70 as our last night. When I opened the portal today, when I opened the dashboard to look at the crude oil prices are now trading below $70. That is what is happening now. And here is a problem for us in Nigeria, because immediately crude oil prices were anticipated to go up, and indeed they shot up. Immediately we're hearing about escalating prices at the pump.
Yeah.
Even talking about it getting to 1,000. But now that crude oil has crashed below $70, we are not going to hear the same press conferences to say, oh, now that crude oil has gone below $70, we're going to reduce the prices at the pump. And the government has two ways to help us here. Number one, there is no competition. There's absolutely no competition in the downstream, in both the midstream and downstream sectors of the petroleum industry in Nigeria. And if you don't have competition, it is hard time for consumers to enjoy, because the dominant player can decide to play with the pricing as he likes. It's like he has money on the ground, and he will not refuse picking it, because nobody is contesting with him. And then on the other side, the regulator is the one who can come to our aid to say that, let me look at your books. Are you overpricing your product? And it doesn't appear to me that the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, who is the regulator, is actually doing that work. Neither does it appear to me that President Tinubu is interested in getting our refineries back up and running so that they can bring in the competition, start caprices of a dominant player, which is Dangote refinery. And we just have to be taking the prices they give us, since the two ways we could have been helped are not happening.
So speaking on Dangote refinery, who is one of the major players here, especially with the fact that our own refineries are not working maybe in full capacity, with the Naira for crude deal, do you think that at this point there should even be a surge? Because if, for instance, the global oil prices have gone up, but that's international affairs, the fact that they're giving him, in Naira, shouldn't the price stay the same?
Okay, so I think there is a misconception about the Naira for
crude.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
There is a misconception about the Naira for crude deal. Like I have always said, the Naira for crude deal is not meant to reduce the cost of petroleum products. And if that is the thinking by government, I think government is getting it wrong. The Naira for crude deal will not bring down the cost of petroleum for about $69. The last time I checked. And if NNPC here is selling crude oil to Dangote refinery, it will still sell it at $69. It's not going to sell it at $60 or anything. So it is the settlement currency that is not different. So when NNPC say, okay, instead of you paying me in dollars, pay me in Naira. But the cost of that crude oil is $69, whether paid in Naira or in dollars. So to Dangote refinery, his input cost is still $69. And there is no way he will now go and reduce the cost of petroleum products only because he paid in Naira. The impact of the crude for Naira deal is on the exchange rate. It's meant to be on the exchange rate, whereby Dangote refinery is not going to use the Naira he's collecting for marketer to go and look dollars to pay for petroleum products. So, but even as as you can see, the impact on the exchange rate is not even happening. That will tell you that Nigerians are demanding for dollars, much more than demanding for dollars to pay for crude oil of the naira. So what Nigerian government needs to do to bring down prices is to bring competition into the market. And the easiest way competition can come into the market is our four refineries that are already built. The refineries are there. If we just fix one or two things with them, they will be ready to now produce products and put them in the market and compete with Dangote refinery.
So why do you think it's taking so long?
Way to bring prices down.
So why do you think it's taking so long for them to actually have the refineries working? I know that, you know, with the Port Harcourt refinery, they said it was working. The WRPC, that's the Warri refinery, they said that was also working. Obviously, most of them are not working to full capacity. Kaduna refinery was supposed to be in operations last December, but this is June, it's 6 months after nothing has been done. Why is there no overhaul with our refineries right now if we're seeing the need for it so much?
As I said, it's only stories we have been hearing from the NNPC. We're actually producing petroleum products from these refineries as they claim to be producing. We're expecting to see their products in the market competing with Dangote refinery. But that is not happening. So their refineries are producing on newspaper pages and on TV televisions. We are not seeing the real impact of the production of a 445,000 barrels capacity refineries in the market. Apart from the fact that he's president of Nigeria, he's also the petroleum minister. And there is no way he will remove subsidy 2 years ago and jack up the prices of petroleum products from under 200 to in 2 years. To take action on our four refineries, so that Nigeria can have stock. If we have our four refineries working, that means the crude oil belongs to us, the refineries belong to us. What comes out of that refinery in terms of products is going to be priced in a way that it will bring relief to Nigerians. And President Tinubu is dragging his feet on this. And for me, I really wonder what is his agenda. Mr. President, what is your agenda? Because if you remove subsidy and jack up the prices of petroleum products to as high as 1,000, why are you not with the same fiat that you use in removing subsidy, acting on our reliability in Nigeria? You know that over time, nobody needs to tell you that the NNPCL is sinking billions. So you don't need anybody to tell you. You don't need any advisor to tell you. So why are you not taking these refineries away from the NNPCL and handing them over to the private sector who can actually fix them and run them for us? Mr. President, this is a direct message I am putting to you.
Well, especially...
You know, helping Nigerians, Mr. President. I think you have a moral question here to answer.
Especially given that the president has a background in oil, that he should have known better what it needs to be done and all that. But our concern is Nigeria keeps being between the devil and the deep blue sea, and we shouldn't be that way. When there is tension somewhere else and the world is thinking about the fact that fuel prices will go up, we are jittery. When we are thinking about fuel prices coming down, we are still jittery in Nigeria. What can we do to stop being in the middle all the time? Because when some things happen, we should be able to take advantage like every other nation does. So what can we do to make sure we are no longer in the middle?
Remove our over-dependence on to fund our budget. We are an economy that is huge. The economy itself is not huge, but the potential is huge. We have an economy with huge potential. For instance, if we activate agriculture, we will be selling food to the world after we have achieved the food security. We will be selling food to the world. So we woke up today and they say crude oil price has gone up, or crude oil price has come down. Food prices are steady because people are still eating food. People are going to eat food. You know, even if America attack Iran, people will still eat food. If Israel attack Iran, people will eat food. If the Strait of Hormuz is blocked by Iran as they threaten, people will still eat food. So if we are a food economy, with our rich agricultural land, sufficient amount of rainfall, good climate, water bodies everywhere for irrigation, and the manpower to actually work these farms in industrial mechanized way, we will be selling food to the world and making money. And I mean, the other simple way we can also make money is the sun. Then we have the sun here. The sun is shining every day. In Makodibo I am now, it's already up shining. We can sell this sun. We can sell it. This is where tourism comes in. There are people who are looking for where they will go and get the sun. So if we take care of security, take care of infrastructure, just take care of those two things, and we can make $100 billion from people who are coming to enjoy our sun. The sun that we are not even using any copper to produce. So whether oil is up, oil is down, people are coming to enjoy our sun. You know? And then of course, we can be refining products, meaning almost every crude oil that Nigeria sells, we refine it first before we sell it. That way, whether crude oil price goes up or comes down, we are refining the product and selling it to the world. As I speak to you today, Nyangul, we don't have any steel plant working. And if we don't have any steel plant working, what that means is that anything that has to do with iron, we are importing it. So if you look at that studio now, just look around the studio where you are. Look at the amount of items in that studio that have iron content in them. It means for every one of them, we have to go and import them. Because our steel plants are there. So those are the kind of areas, Mr. Stream.
Well,
we'll be producing our iron and steel in Nigeria. We'll be using it to manufacture the things in Nigeria. We will insulate our economy from what is happening in the global economy. So whether Iran attacks Israel or Israel attacks Iran, we are manufacturing our steel, iron and steel. We are doing our food. We are doing our petroleum products. You know, we have created a haven for tourism for people to get away, come and enjoy. You know, we are doing all of those things, generating our power, using domestic gas. All of those important catalysts on the economy, we have them. So that is what is going to stop us from putting ourselves in this situation we have found ourselves.
Well, I remember that there used to be the Delta Steel Company, DSC, in Warri.
And Jakarta Steel Company over 40 years, that is not happening.
Nothing.
But the thing is that it will give us too much independence. We will not be going to the Western countries anymore. So maybe we need someone as strong-willed as Traore, you know, because if we don't have that, we may not be able to do this, because there will also be external forces that will want to make sure that we never get to that destination point.
That financial independence.
Yeah, but this is how much we can go, Mr. Agule, this morning. We'd like to thank you for your time, and we hope that we will get it right someday. Have a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day yourself.
Yeah. We're talking to Nick Agule, an energy expert. We were looking at the energy sector. We are now going to take a short break, and when we return, 60,000 inmates are being registered by the federal government for a push for national identity coverage. Stay with us.